to the program Talk Sports on Global Television. I am Samuel Odi. Many thanks for joining us on today's edition of the program, as we're just coming off a very, very exciting weekend, and we saw a whole lot of upset and some persons losing the match, and not losing the top spot in the Premier League log. And also we saw some upset, and we saw a derby that happened in the Serie A between Juventus and Inter Milan. Also we witnessed the All-Star NBA weekend that happened, where Stephen Curry emerged as the MVP of the All-Star games, where the OG teams defeated the youngies and also the international teams to emerge champions of the All-Star weekend, as well as also looking at the fact where Tyler Hero became the three-point contest champion, and then also we saw Mark also becoming the third time consecutive dunk contest champion. So there's just a whole lot package today, and also we saw Nigerian Ezekiel Nathaniel setting a world record of 400 meters led in Africa. So there's just a whole lot package today as we tend to discuss sporting activities that happened during the weekend and what we expected to see this coming week. So we'll be starting as always from the home front, where Nigerian Nathaniel set 400 world lead, African record in the NCAA national record holder in the men's 400 meters hurdle, and Paris 2024 Olympics semi-finalist Ezekiel ran the fastest 400 meters in the world this year, when he produced a stunning 44.92 seconds to win his 400 meters heat in USA, Texas. In just the second race of the season, he also became the first African man to run the sub 45 seconds indoors in the history, as well as in the NCAA in 2025. Meanwhile, the 21-year-old also ran a jaw-dropping anchor for Bangalore University in the men's 400 meters, producing 44.37 seconds as they finished in the second place behind Texas Tech by the just miles seconds. So this is just exciting for Nigerian athletics, and seeing all of this in the NCAA, we've witnessed a whole lot of Nigerians putting up numbers and also setting records and breaking records. This is the latest from Ezekiel Nathaniel, who is just 21 years of age and also setting the. So now, another question is, what does this mean for the future of athleticism and then track race in Nigeria? It means that the future looks secure in the hands of youngest like this, and then setting records at this level. So in the coming months, the Niger Delta Games is also going to be beginning, and then we'll see a whole lot of athletes come back from the diaspora to be able to participate and also get themselves ready for other events that will be coming up. So we're saying kudos to Nathaniel Ezekiel for setting this record, 44.92 seconds, and also being the leader in Africa, setting a 400-meter hurdle pace. So we're just saying congratulations to him, and super excited for how far he's come in his journey. Last year we saw him at the Olympics. This year he's doing it again, and then the trajectory of his growth has been breaking records upon records. This is all what Nigerians are all about when it comes to every diversity activities of life. We set the pace for others to follow, and then we are here saying kudos to Nathaniel Ezekiel for setting up this new record. So moving on, Okpeyoro claims his 5th African badminton title. Yes, that's another exciting one, where Okpeyoro reigns supreme as the top men's badminton player in Africa on Sunday, yes, by winning his 5th African title at the 2025 African Badminton Championship in Douala, Cameroon. The Nigerian overcame the Egyptians Adam Egra in the tough men's single final inside the Germans Dan Jopama, winning the tie 2-0. Okpeyoro cruised to a 21-7 win in the first set, but the second was a key contest as the Nigerian rallied to win 23-22 against the Egyptian. It was the 4th consecutive win for him, 2022, 2023, 2024, and again 2025, with his first win in the year 2019. That is a winning streak aside 2020, so in the year 2020, due to COVID-19 and all of that, the competition didn't really get to hold. But now we've seen a trajectory of him winning back to back. So had it been this competition did happen in 2020, that means automatically, we'll be having a different conversation and probably recounting his sixth gold medal. So on route to the 2025 final, the 27-year-old who was ranked the continent's number 2 going into the tournament got a better off Darius Brogdon while beating top seed Julian Paul of the Mediterranean in his compatriots' victory. Victor Ikechukwu and Joseph Emmanuel didn't go past the quarterfinal of the tournament, just as Dorcas Adeshokan also crashed out of the last 8 of the women's singles. So this is just how far Nigerians and preparation has been put in place for these individuals to be able to go and compete in these high levels. Just like Shehu Diko said, the commissioner of the Sporting Commission in Nigeria says, if you don't handle, it is words exactly, if you don't get to take care of grassroots events, sporting events, nobody should come to him for international competition. So now we've seen that a whole lot of initiatives are being put in place. Players are getting recognitions and preparations are being put in place so as for them to go and compete on this high level, and then the preparation has been in place, and then we're seeing resources being provided for these individuals, and then the result is out there showing for himself. Congratulations Okpolo for this magnificent victory and being the leader and number 1 man when it comes to badminton in the whole of Africa. We also see where a whole lot of individuals are also getting ready and getting set for future competitions that will be coming up, and we are super excited. Now let's talk about Super Eagles and its potential, what we expect to see, and then people will expect to be introduced into the squad to strengthen the squad. Why we're having this conversation now is because of a singular fact that we're seeing Ademola Lookman, who is a winger, has been struggling for a while. Moses Simon the same, Samuel Chukwueze the same. So we have seen these angles where there are a whole lot of concerns. So now let's have a conversation. Names, we've done a little bit of research at TalkSport, and then we've seen a couple of names that need to be added to the squad by Eric Chini to be able to help the squad qualify for the 2026 World Cup. So let's look at it as Nigerians anticipate the Super Eagles list for the next 2026 World Cup qualifiers in the month of March. Let's take a look at possible invitees who could be a good addition to the men's senior national team. Now let's talk about Christus Uche, arguably one of the breakout star of 2024-2025 season in Europe. Uche has been making a case for the Super Eagles call-up with his consistent performance for Getafe in the La Liga. The midfielder scored his third goal of the season in the Spanish top flight on Friday, netting the opener in Getafe's 2-1 win over Girona. He has been one of the most consistent players for Getafe this season, featuring in all their 24 matches for so far this season, and such character coupled with his ball carrying ability from box to box will make him a good fit for the Super Eagles. As a marker to his performance this season, Uche has been linked with top clubs like Real Madrid, Chelsea, Aston Villa and other Premier League sides, and Getafe have already slammed the 25 million price tag on the Nigerian. It won't be a surprise if they cash in on the midfielder just one season after signing him. The 21-year-old midfielder joined Getafe from lower league club Qatar last summer as he made a significant impact at the club. So results are there, and we are not seeing anything less than outstanding performance from Christus Uche. Now talking about another addition, we are talking Tolu, who is with 15 goals and 5 assists in his current campaign. Greek striker Tolu is finally providing that his invitation into the Super Eagles is long overdue, as it has happened to be his best ever season in Europe. Also, looking at these angles now, we're talking about the striker now. Though we have lots of strikers in the Super Eagles currently that are doing amazingly well. We have Victor Boniface, we have Victor Osimhen, we have Paul, and then we have Awoniyi. These guys are amazing, and then they are all showing up for their club side. Now let's talk about Ejike and also Taylor, Nathan Taylor. Over the years, the Super Eagles have never lacked good wingers. The only problem sometimes is that how they are deployed. If Ademola Lookman will be fit enough for the next assignment and Moses Simon is in his devastating form, another winger can add depth to the team. In Chidera Ejike, who is recently returned from injury with Sevilla, and he has played in 5 games since recovering, and marked his appearance on Sunday with an assist in their 4-0 victory over Real Valladolid. While Nathan Taylor hasn't been much of a starter at Bayern Leverkusen, he has proven to be a good team player, as he has turned up with goals and assists in absence of their regulars. So coming off the bench, we see how Nathan Taylor has been very, very effective, and also Chidera, who also just came out from injury, and despite being injured and getting back on form, though he has not gotten back to his scoring prowess that we are familiar with, but his powers and then his gradual form is coming up, and then he has been able to create assists for his teammates to be able to perform at that level. So Nathan Taylor also was very instrumental in the win for Bayern Leverkusen just this past season, where they went unbeaten all through the season with his compatriot also Victor Boniface. So it's just amazing how these players have been going so far so good, and then their introduction into the Super Eagles, I think full-time introduction is actually going to help. Looking at the current realities of the players in the Super Eagles at this time as we speak, we are seeing Moses Simon, who has not been in form. This season hasn't just been his season so far. Ademola Lookman having injury worries as well, and then Samuel Chukwueze just still getting back to form, because of injury worries that he had. So we need the wings to be on fire as well as the attacking of the front line. So when all of these issues are settled, that means come the month of March, we wouldn't be able to worry so much when the Super Eagles travel for their qualifying matches in Rwanda, and also playing the second leg of their competition here in Nigeria in the Godswill Akpabio Stadium in Akwa Ibom State, Uyo, with Zimbabwe. So having all of this settled, I think qualifying and having a run for the money, a run for the World Cup is actually going to be something very amazing. If you look at the age statistics of all of these players currently playing in the Super Eagles, they are all young, and most of them haven't even featured in the World Cup. So there is more momentum for them to be able to play and then secure a ticket for themselves, so as to go feature in the World Cup and see how far we can be able to go. Probably we could even win, the Super Eagles could even win the World Cup if they get to do all of their assignments well. So that is all what we're looking at, and we're hoping to see a very, very swift and amazing potential, and also an amazing fit into the squad that would help the squad advance further in their quest to qualifying for the 2026 World Cup. So moving on, let's talk about Nigerian Professional or Nigerian Premier Football League, where Rangers halt Romeo Stars unbeaten run. Yes, Rangers halt Romeo Stars unbeaten run. So if you've looked and if you're very consistent following the Nigerian Professional Football League, you would see that Romeo Stars have been consistent and have been 8 points clear from the champions, Enugu Rangers. But at this point now, Enugu Rangers needed to prove a point, and they did prove a point against Romeo Stars by defeating them 2-0. The league leaders, Romeo Stars, surrendered their 8-game unbeaten run in the Nigerian Premier League just a couple of days ago. That was on Sunday. Following a 2-1 defeat against reigning champions Rangers at the International Stadium in Enugu, but they still have their 8 points lead at the top. 2 goals in either halves by Xavier Isaac and Kingsley Mandeforo had put Fidelis Ilechukwu side ahead in the game. We'll be taking a quick break, and then when we return back, Talk Sports continues. sir, many thanks for staying with us. And talking about Enugu Rangers now and Rangers Stars, who are now still the top leaders of the Nigerian Premier League, and also, like I mentioned before the break, Enugu Rangers are the defending champions. Ilechukwu side are the defending champions, and they played on Sunday at home against Rangers Stars, where they defeated them 2-0 as we speak currently. So they still maintain their top side as the leaders of the pack. That's talking about Rangers Stars now. But looking at those aspects now, Ilechukwu side had a point to prove. Yes, they know that they are like 8 points cleared from Enugu Rangers. That's in terms of trying to win the trophy. But looking at those angles now, they needed to prove a point that yes, despite the fact you're still number one on the log, we are still the champions, and then they had to do all they can to defeat them. Ilechukwu side headed in the game before Haruna Handi got a consolation for Rangers Stars and ended up the second half after defeating to their challenge of the 3 C's. Rivers United, Rangers Stars went into the game with a chance to extend their lead in the Nigerian top flight, but the feature against the champions was going to be tough, as they also needed to move within a reasonable distance to the title. Midfielder Isaac put Rangers ahead in the 30th minute through the free kick outside the 18-yard box before the champions made it 2 on the resumption of the second half through Madaforos, who made no mistake in slotting Kenneth Igweke's pass into the net. So looking at the Nigerian Professional League now, like I've always mentioned times and times again, that the league is getting super competitive, looking at the fact that the prize money now is very, very big, 250 million naira, Nigerian naira prize money for the winners. Now, looking at this now, we're witnessing foreign players and also players that have played in Europe. That's talking about Ahmed Musa now, who is currently playing in Kano Pillars, has done his bid. Now, coming back home to play in the Nigerian Premier League is actually an avenue to be able to create more name and also boost the capacity, and also call other players to come back and play in the league, so as to develop the league and make sure that yes, it's still something that Nigerians would always want to go to the stadium packed up and watch, just like what's happening in the English Premier League. Looking at the Brazilian league, we've seen likes of Ronaldo, Robinho, Kaká, and the rest of them after their international debuts, after their whole club side football, they still get to go back to the Brazilian league to play. All of these things are the actual avenues, are the actual thing that is making those leagues actually grow and grow and grow. And then we're expecting to see the same thing here for the Nigerian Premier League. These initiatives are good. So maybe likes of Kelechi Iheanacho and the rest of them, when it's time for them to maybe call it quits, they could just come back, maybe join Rangers Stars, join Enugu Rangers, join Enyimba, Kano Pillars, Platoon Riders, all of these teams. You could join any of them just so as to bring more life and also have more avenues for other foreign players to come to want to play in Nigeria, because it used to be that way before things decided to go haywire. But now we are saying that they're getting back on track, and then the Nigerian Premier League is coming back to its lost glory, and we're expecting to see all of this continue as games and other individuals get themselves involved with what's going on. Moving away from the local leagues now, let's move on to the international scene, where Nwore breaks Saka's EPL record. Arsenal star Eitan Nwaore has broken the Premier League record previously held by teammate Bukola Saka during the Gunners 2-1 victory or win over Leicester City, where Eitan Nwaore has a breakout season at Arsenal this campaign under Mikel Arteta, as the 17-year-old has made 24 appearances for the Gunners in his first full season with Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta trusted the midfielders to play a major role in the North London side, and the starlet has proven he deserves to be a big part of this season's plan. During Arsenal's 2-0 Premier League win against Leicester City, where he became the youngest player to complete five or more dribbles and assists a goal in the singles match at age 17 years with 331 days as per Optat Joe. The record was previously held by Saka at age of 18 and 140 64 days against Newcastle in the year 2020. Last but Mure also became the second youngest Englishman to score in the Champions League after his winning against Girona on the last match day of the Champions League. The league side in the same period, Mure also became the second youngest Arsenal player to score in the Premier League after Cesc Fabregas. Yes, you could all remember Cesc Fabregas, how amazing he was for Barcelona and respectively how he was also for Arsenal. So this is just amazing. But now there's something I want to say. You can see his name, Ethan Were. Automatically that's a Nigerian name, but somehow we lost him now to the Englishman, just like we did Bukola Saka, losing him also to England. So I wonder why we tend to lose most of our star players, to all of these countries. What is going on and what needs to be done so as we don't keep losing? Is it that these players don't just get called up on time, or there's just a whole lot of things going on? But some persons have argued, some sport analysts have argued that the politics that happen within the NFL is actually one of the major concerns why most of these players, and then the welfare ability and how they treat players is one of the major concerns, while these players will just go somewhere else and then nationalize with them and just decide to play with them. Not just in football, we've also seen it in other leagues, even the basketball and other sporting activities. But we're hoping that all of those loopholes will be corrected so as we would see our own people coming back home to play for us and flying the green, white, green flag or wearing the Nigerian jersey. That's just all we want. So as we would be contenders as we are, and we are still contenders despite all of these individuals going to play for different countries. We are still contenders, but still, we still want our own people back home to play for us. Talking about fitness now, Taiwo Awoniyi in fitness race for Newcastle clash. Yes, if you could remember, just a couple of days ago he suffered a concussion, but now he's looking to get on his feet and then get back to play Nottingham Forest. Hopeful that striker Taiwo Awoniyi will be available for this weekend's clash with Newcastle United. The frontman was ruled out of the Reds 2-1 defeat at Fulham due to concussion protocols, and he had been on the end of a massive collision towards the end of Forest's midweek FA Cup win over Exeter City. Then Awoniyi also suffered a broken nose against the Gokishin, but has been undergoing fitness of marks to where once he gets green light to play. The protocol means that he is unavailable to feature for 12 days, but the head coach Nuno Santos is hopeful that the Nigerian will return to visit the St. James Park this Sunday. Not just visiting and sitting on the bench, but visiting and also doing what he does best, scoring goals from the front line. So we are hoping he gets recovered quickly, and also a marks also will be provided. Then we'll be having two Nigerian top strikers playing currently with marks. Victor Osimhen says he'll be playing with his marks till the end of his career due to some injury worries that he has on his face. But for Taiwo Awoniyi, we hope that wouldn't be the same situation where he will be playing with marks for the rest of his season. He suffered a concussion, and report reaching us says that he is getting better and is also going to be featuring in this weekend's feature at Newcastle. Yeah, so let's talk about transfers a little bit, and then there are plans already for the end of the summer where Juventus is planning a move for Victor Osimhen, as also very, very shocking. It's not, I wouldn't say it's shocking, because I've seen lots of big names reaching out for the top 9. Yes, I've seen PSG, we've seen Chelsea, we've seen Manchester United, we've seen Arsenal. You see, the list goes on as they try to land and begging for his signature, the signature of Victor Osimhen. We are seeing how exciting it is going for him, and he has been doing so much well, and that he made a promise to Galatasaray that he will make sure they get back to the winning ways and also get back the number 1 spot from AZ as they just tend to drop point this past weekend. Juventus are already plotting moves ahead of the summer transfer window and are reportedly hoping to pull off a deal for both Victor Osimhen and Randal Kolo, as Doran Svalski looks increasingly likely to leave the club in the next few months. Juventus signed Colomani to complete and rotate voters during the January transfer windows, but they were only able to secure a straight loan deal with Paris Saint-Germain until the end of 2025 campaign. As a result, Koulibaly will return to Paris in the summer, but recent reports claim that the Bulgarian will look to agree to another season-long loan deal and could include an option to buy as well. Luis Reyes has recently agreed to a new contract extension as head coach of Paris Saint-Germain, and it is understood that he is not particularly interested in instigating Koulibaly after his loan spell. But for Victor Osimhen, he is super interested in getting Victor Osimhen into the Juventus squad to help them get back to the power of winning. Another shortlist again from Atletico Madrid, looking to shortlist Wilfred Ndidi for the summer move, where the Nigerian and Leicester City midfielder Wilfred Ndidi has been added to the midfielders shortlist of the Spanish La Liga, says Atletico Madrid, as they look to sign a new defensive midfielder in the summer, having failing to address the position last summer, and having begun the hunt for a player to fill the void in their team, with the Nigerian emerging as a potential signing. The fact that the club captain Koke recognizes is coming towards the end of his career, coupled with the expected departure of Thomas Lemar, means that it is important for a pivot to arrive at the moment before the start of the 2025-2026 season. Sport reporting department have been drawing up a shortlist over the last few months, which features the likes of Marcos Samu Costa, another player that has been added in Leicester City's Leicester City's Wilfred Ndidi as report reached us. So Leicester City has actually been struggling and also have not wanting to let Wilfred Ndidi go because of how important he is to the squad. So the fact that Leicester City got to find their way back into the Premier League had to do with the whole lot of work, and it was bent on the back of Wilfred Ndidi, how they get to struggle all through the English Championship, winning the league, and also making their way back into the league. The Premier League is something that they hold credit for, and also Wilfred Ndidi holds most of this credit, even when they won the Premier League a couple of years ago. All of those things were attributed to the impact of what Wilfred Ndidi was able to do. So for clubs like Atletico Madrid looking out and shortlisting him, that means there's something that Wilfred Ndidi is doing right. When he comes to play for the Super Eagles, we also see how effective he is for the squad, and then we expect to see more when the qualifiers comes up by next month. We'll be going on a quick break, and then when we return back, Talk Sports continues as we discuss Juventus, how they denied top spots for Inter Milan in the derby that we witnessed a few hours ago. In the must-win match between Juventus and Inter Milan, Juventus decided to stand in the way from stopping Inter Milan from replacing Napoli at the top of the Serie A by beating their fierce rival 1-0 and moving into Italian's Champions League position. Francisco made sure that Napoli could stay 2 points ahead of Inter Milan by crashing in the winning goal 16 minutes before the end of the entertaining contest in Turin. Portugal striker Francisco netted his fourth goal of the season in all competitions after brilliant work from Randal Koulibaly to give Juve a third straight league win. Juve are in fourth place ahead on goal difference from Lazio, who had done restful Inter a favor by holding Napoli to a 2-2 draw in Rome. So looking at this now, talking about Colomani now, you say, well, one of the reasons why Juventus really wants him to be on their squad. And then looking at these angles now, we're seeing why Victor Osimhen also is also needed. Now there's been a back and forth going on between these teams, and this is literally a derby. This is just more like Manchester United play Manchester City. You all understand how that is, or just like a Liverpool team playing an Everton team. That's just more like the same thing when you witness Inter Milan play Juventus. So this derby and then this rivalry has been ongoing for a very, very long time. That's why Juventus had to do all they could to be able to have that win and then have the last laugh. So I'm just excited about the whole match and then the future now, what it holds. Now with goal difference, Juventus are being top the top floor. Now what does this mean? There is a couple of matches that they still need to play this coming weekend and then in the coming weeks. If they don't get to win a match up front, clearly that means there's a chance that Lazio would be able to overturn them by points and then or probably by goals, and also be at the number 4 position while they would be at the number 5th position. But let's see how that pans out in the coming days. So let's talk a little bit of Premier League, where Mo Salah scores as Liverpool edges victory over Wolves United. Looking at those now, they defeated Liverpool, secured a 2-1 victory over the Wolves in this week to gain week 25 of the Premier League future, with goals from Luis Diaz and Mo Salah sealing the win at Anfield. The Reds took the lead earlier in the game, with Diaz opening the scoring in the first 15 minutes. The Colombian forward capitalized on an opportunity to put Liverpool ahead, setting in the tone for the first half. Wolves struggled to respond, and their frustration was evident as Marc Doherty received a yellow card in the 26th minute, and the visitors coach Victor Pereira was also booked just 3 minutes later. Adding to their woes, Liverpool defender Ibrahim Kante was showed a yellow card in the 31st minute, with but it did not slow them down from the side momentum. Liverpool doubled their advantage in the 37th minute when Mo Salah calmly converted the penalty, making it 2-0. Wolves Emmanuel Agbado, who was booked just 2 minutes later, tensions continues to rise. Despite being 2 goals down in the first half, Wolves found a way back into the game in the second half by scoring a goal, and also tried a couple of times also to come back to it and then see if they could get a draw. But Liverpool were determined to remain off and then taking away those 3 points back to their individual houses, because they literally played at home. So this shows how amazing they are. And then Liverpool now, their eyes is on the ball, and I don't think with the pace at which they are going and then the amount of matches that have been played, I don't think they are looking to leave that number 1 spot on the EPL Premier League log as we currently speak. So looking at all of this now, Liverpool, is it too soon to call it? No, but some persons have argued that Arsenal is still there, Nottingham Forest is still there, and Manchester City. People have said if Manchester City can get to win 5 consecutive matches without losing any or drawing any, then there will be a problem for the top 3 guys that they are following behind. We saw Chelsea also being defeated just this past weekend, 3 goals to 1. So all of this is actually making Liverpool chill properly in the number 1 flight and then keep winning their matches, having goals advantage, and then moving forward and forward. So have Liverpool won the EPL for this season? That we'll still find out as more matches are being played in this season. Now, there's this thing that has been struggling for a very long time, and the whole lot of analysts have actually pointed finger at this man, James Maddison, as he scores. James Maddison scores Tottenham's winning goal against Manchester United. James Maddison appeared to take aim at Roy Keane after scoring the winner at Tottenham condemned Manchester United to their 12th defeat of the Premier League this season. Just a little bit of outside noise wasn't there this week, said Maddison on as after he celebrated his 10th goal of the season by throwing an imaginary dart towards down the lens of the camera and putting a finger to his lips to shush noise. People have their opinions and wanted to do mine by talking on the pitch. There will be a certain few enjoying me being the match winner. So looking at this now, there's just been issues going on. Then Roy Keane at some point last week made mention and threw fingers at James Maddison, who is currently a player in Tottenham, and then says that he is not stepping up to take in the shoes and then lead his team to victories, because we've seen Son, who is also not doing that so much. So now James Maddison needed to step in to do that and then play that vital role for the team to be able to win matches. So a whole lot of persons were pointing fingers, but he says he doesn't talk. He only gets to the pitch and do his talking by scoring goals, and which was what he did yesterday, condemning Manchester United to their 12th consecutive defeat in this season, and also not looking so good for them on the Premier League block, and also shushing Roy Keane after scoring a winner. Tottenham, condemned Manchester United to their defeat. So all of this is just excited for him. Look at the smile obviously on his face. This shows that yes, he has done his bid, and then he has been able to do what he can to have his team win. So this was what Roy Keane was talking about, stepping up. So I would say probably Roy Keane did step up and then added a few gaffes and then filled him up to be able to feature and then step up and win matches for his team. So he is a leader, and also he needs to also step up when it's much needed for his team to be able to win, because his coach posted also made comments of some players are actually working towards seeing him frustrated. But with this current results, beating a team like Manchester United, I think they are beginning to have their house in order and then getting everything that they need to get in order to be able to win matches moving forward. But now the end goal now is just going to be for them to be able to still remain in the English Premier League and not be relegated and then go back to the Championship side. Though looking at Tottenham, they all started off this season on a very good run. Manchester United did start this season on a very good run, winning all of their matches, and also before they now started having issues, backlogs, injury worries, and then the Marcus Rashford issues happened, the Eric Ten Hag issue happened, the Venezuela issue also happened, and now Amori's issue is also happening. So looking at all of this now, I think they would find their pace, and maybe next season they will be able to be contenders of the EPL. So let's move away totally from football and let's just have conversation of the NBA All-Star Weekend that just concluded yesterday or early hours of today, where the NBA All-Star Weekend graded including rising stars and also three-point shooting, and then crowning it up with the dunk contest. The NBA All-Star Weekend wrapped up Sunday, and we graded the competitors for all the events, including the revamped All-Star Game that featured 4 squads facing off the tournament style format as Chase Center in San Francisco. In Sunday's main event, Shaq's OGs won the tournament, and Golden State Warriors Stephen Curry became the MVP honors at his home arena. This is the first beat coincident Rising Star before defeating Chuck's Global Stars in the final. LeBron James, who was named to a record extending to the first All-Star game, was a late stretch due to discomfort in his foot. Saturday night featured skill challenge, which was dominated by Cleveland's duo of Evans Mobley and Donovan Mitchell, despite the controversy surrounding the disqualification of San Francisco's San Antonio Spurs partner Victor Wembanyama and Chris Paul. The sharpshooter of the league then went head-to-head in the three-point contest, with Damian Lillard going off 3 peats, but he was dethroned by Tyler Hero as he was emerged the three-point contest winner. Tyler Hero was emerged the three-point contest winner, and then the highly anticipated dunk contest did end up in the three-peat as reigning champion Mark Marklin took the trophy home once again after a battle against rising star MVP Stephen Castle. If you did watch those dunk contests, we saw Mark jumping over a car and so composed, and also we saw Tyler Hero shooting from range. last year he participated, but he didn't even get through to the second knockout stages. But this year he participated and then did a whole lot of correction and also won the competition. Yes, he became the MVP of the 3-point contest. That's Tyler Hero. And then also we are looking at Mark McLean, who also dunked the ball, jumping over a car and also jumping over an individual and also dunking 2 balls at the same time. We saw amazingly how well he did. Now he got stars like Ja Morant and also Giannis Antetokounmpo having conversations of probably wanting to join the dunk contest come next year. And again, there's just this one man who is sitting at the throne, talking about LeBron James, who have over 40,000 plus points in the NBA currently, and then who has never featured in the dunk contest. We're expecting him to feature in the dunk contest if this does happen, but it's going to be amazing to see those matchups. LeBron James, Ja Morant, and also Giannis Antetokounmpo, and also the current champion of Mark McLean, who would be able to feature at the end and also participate in the dunk contest. Yes, that's the champ right there. He plays in the G League for Orlando Magic, and he has been very, very amazing all through this period. He dropped an average of 25 points per game in the G League. So that is just super amazing how well he's doing for himself, jumping over cars and jumping over individuals. That's super amazing. And then you'll be surprised, he is just 6'1" as a guard, flying so high and making all of this impact. This is how much time will permit us to take on today's edition of Talk Sport, and we're certain to bring you more sporting events and also more talking points in the world of sports as the week unfolds. My name is Samuel Odi. I want to say a very big thank you to the production team, and also thank you viewers for watching. My name is Samuel Odi. I'll see you again as we talk more sports. Bye for now.